Hi guys, Bobby here from Peak Performance Academy, and today's Coach's Corner. Don't put undue pressure on yourself. So the really important thing, guys, about when you have a goal or when you're trying to do something is we set our standards, we set our structure out, we know what we need to do, and we set a timeline. Maybe, like again, we always speak about on a weekly basis, that first quarter timeline. So we break it down into a 4-month period. And then what we do is we have our daily tasks and our structures. We write down our daily task, what we need to do on a certain day, and then we have a structure in the week where we're going to train a certain days, we're going to do our cardio certain days, or business-wise or whatever. You have everything set up and you have it structurally that way. What you don't want to do is put too much undue pressure on yourself. That could be something like focusing down on a number, focusing on a timeline too much, focusing on your own physique too much. So if you're a person that's trying to lose weight, you're so solely focused on that scales, it's driving undue pressure on you. If it's business-wise, you might have hit an exact timeline, you might be striving for perfection all the time, and sometimes we really will struggle to get to that point. And what it does is builds up pressure. And pressure, when it comes to having goals, the one thing body composition-wise, if you have a body composition goal, it's going to create undue stress. That's going to be a rise in cortisol levels, and everything is going to start to be impeded in there, guys. Fat loss, sleep, recovery, because of that raise in stress. So when we start to put undue pressure on ourselves, we raise that stress. That could be business-wise, it could be family-wise, because if you're at home and you're trying to do something at home and you're putting a bit of pressure on yourself to get home and do this, and all these things, you're going to put undue stress on yourself, and what's going to happen, you're going to vent that out on your loved ones. And this is the problem. So we need to control stress, and we need to control the way we put pressure on ourselves. There is going to be pressure, as what I mean by pressure is a little bit of intensity in what you need to do. So if it's coming to training, you need to be a little bit intensive, hit your session and nail it. If it's cardio wise, if you're doing high intensity cardio, there needs to be an intensity there. If it's low level, you have a purpose. But purpose and intensity is a little bit different than pressure, because pressure, I'm talking about psychologically, what you think and what you perceive, and this is really, really important, that you don't put that kind of pressure on yourself, because if you start to do that, you're just going to build up more and more anxiety, you're going to build up more and more stress, and then what's going to happen is the goal that you set out for yourself for the daily tasks, they're going to start to fall apart a little bit, and what that's going to do is just build stress and stop the stress, pressure on top of pressure, and that's what we need to get away from, guys. So just think about it on your daily tasks when you write them down in your weekly structure. Just take deep breaths when you feel that things are getting a bit overwhelming. Even go for a walk. Get yourself away from the situation and just calm that pressure away. Let it go away. Let it ease down, because what is the most important thing is consistency. And the way you're going to be consistent is by having that mindfulness to just say, hold on a second, just feeling a little bit stressed here on this. There is times you are going to be stressed, but it's how you deal with it. Take a step back, start focusing on your breathing, and maybe go for a walk and just get yourself away from the situation, and then restart and refocus again. And just keep doing that. And don't put yourself into one narrow hole where you really focus on one point all the time. We spoke about this in previous videos and a podcast as well, where we need to focus on the bigger picture. If it's a health goal, a body composition goal, a fat loss goal, whatever it may be, focus on your health as a whole. I want to change my life, I want to change my lifestyle, I want to change the way I feel. Don't just focus on I want to change the scale weight. That just puts undue pressure on yourself, raises cortisol, raises stress, and it's going to impede in your fat loss over time. So this is really important, guys, we focus on that. Okay, so what we need to do is just make sure we take ourselves away from the situation, take a breath, step back, maybe go for a walk or something, calm it down, and come back and reattack your goal again, or whatever your task is, or whatever that situation was. Okay, guys, if you like what you hear, you find us at peakperformancekillarney.com, all our social media platforms, also our podcast, Reach Your Peak Podcast, and our YouTube channel, Peak Performance Killarney. Please subscribe and review, really help us grow both podcast and YouTube channel. And if any questions, please reach out, guys. I'd be more than happy to help. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.